Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back to late Clumsy trucking. Not that late today. Well, kind of. How's everyone doing? Thanks for joining me on another chill trucking session. How have you guys been? Good morning, good evening, good day. Scotsman? Why is that guy still here? I thought I banned him already. Hey Scotsman, how is Disney Plus treating you? Excited for the Falcon and Winter Soldier? I think that's releasing today, right? Well, tomorrow for you, Friday. Good morning. Hey Sounder, how have you been? What have you been up to these days? Glad to see you again. Hey Ark, which truck have you been driving recently? Bao, glad you made it. Any news on the 3090? Falaverissimo, how are you? Thanks for joining. Hey Patrick, fancy seeing you here. Did I miss some other people? Oh, I think I missed a couple. 1 second guys, let me just get back to it. Hey Drew, thanks for joining. Marty, how are you guys? NL, glad you made it. Thanks for joining. Sorry we're a bit late. I tried to be early this time, but not early enough it looks like. Hey Alex, how have you been, man? Nice DAF XF95 you were driving. Which modder did that? I thought that was the XPS version. Hey Mad Alex. We have an Alex and a Mad Alex. I like it. You arrived before the stream's about to end. Yes, you actually arrived very early. Hey Sonoma, glad to see you here as well. What have you guys been busy with Truck Sim? I might have been too exposed with Flight Sim recently because of their CRJ release. But I was not seeing a lot of updates on the trucking side. It might be that lull that we get right before the update really goes public. I hope that it's it. Anyway, let's go and get the game started here. Game might crash a couple of times in the beginning. I get that quite a bit. Is blah here? So I'm not sure if that's caused by Logit software. The overlay I think is what's causing those crashes sometimes. Let's see if it will crash this time. Okay. Yeah, my first load always crashes the game. And I have to restart it, and the second one is what pushes through. For ETS, that is. For ATS, it works just fine. I don't get it. So even in just the main menu, the game crashes already. And I think it crashes again when I turn on the screen sharing kind of feature so that you can see my screen. We'll see. It might crash later when I go to the map or something. But there we are. Let's see. Mac Anthem and ATS. I've been staying away from ATS in the meantime until we get the update from Team Reforma because there were some crashing areas, right? I wasn't sure if that got updated already. Good luck, Bao. Hope it's there somewhere. Nicola. Oh, how are you liking it? Sorry, I wasn't able to check the Discord server when I asked that question. Not worth the money for you. How much is it? Setting up your new steering wheel camera. Nice. What did you get? Speaking of new steering wheel, can we congratulate Alex? Mr. Thrustmaster himself. How's the new steering wheel, man? Are you liking it more? How does it compare to your trusty, old, and salty G25? Those crashes are fixed now. Ah, nice. Okay, so it was an SCS problem, got fixed with the beta. That's good to hear. Alright, So I just need to clean up some stuff here because I saw that Zeemod updated his mods and the free ones he uploaded to the Steam Workshop. So I got all of those and I also updated the mods list. So if you guys want to check that out, feel free. So that at least these guys will get auto-updated whenever he modifies them. You don't have to download them from the site again. The only thing that's in his selfie page now that I'm using is the actual Scania V8 sounds and the Zeemod fresheners. Looks good. 1 second, let's hide that. In this profile, I don't have any funky stuff. I do have the speed limit that I'm using. Grand Utopia, of course. The background map is by Beng & J. You can look at the world background maps item in the mods list. Exclamation point mods gets you there, or mods list link in the video description if you're watching this in YouTube. The footage. And then we're going with Grand Utopia today because I was thinking about it. I think in the last video I mentioned it, that I really wanted to explore Grand Utopia again, not just one drive, you know, in its entirety. It's grown so much already that you can spend so much time just going around the map and exploring different areas. And I want that kind of experience, that more like end-to-end kind of experience. So we'll be going with this profile today. We're still going with the V8 though. The Scania 4 series is still my absolute favorite. So we're sticking with that. And I have a couple of new things. You might notice it. I'll let you see if you notice it. And I'll try something if you guys can keep a close eye on performance. Because I updated my Windows to the latest build, 20H2, was it? Or 20H2 do you call it? But I think it fixed my, before I was lagging when I had my preview screen on in my OBS. So I had to turn off the preview. I think it fixed that, so I think I can keep it on now and still stream record smoothly. So you guys let me know if I encounter a lot of like skipping, okay? And we'll see if I can keep it on because it will help me a lot in monitoring if I'm messing up something. Alright, let's load up the game and I will get back to chat. Yeah, those guys we've replaced already, I think, right? I hope I didn't miss anything. Not as good for trucking. Oh, I see. Why not? Is it about the steering, the pedals, the shifter? So the G25, that's interesting, still has an edge there. 30 USD, nice. Wow. It's like a plane. Can't get into exploring Grand Utopia yourself. Ah, yes, there are, I think, some areas which are heavy on performance here. Yes, especially the older ones, not as optimized as before. So we'll go and check any particular preference, guys. We can go and... Oh, I do want to explore that. Let's go eastbound first here. And then let's go back. Because I do have some highways to uncover here. Either the N2 or D18 would work. So as long as it goes east, you should be good. Let's see. What's the farthest you can give me? That looks interesting. That goes to Utopia, actually. That's the one I like. Yes. Is there something that goes to this place? Isn't that how you read it? Of course there's not. Okay, fine. But we can work with that. Fresh herbs. Tomatoes go somewhere else. Rombas or Granville? Rombas is nearer. No, Granville is what I like. Yes, 35 minutes, 35 kilometers. Sounds good to me. HE, glad to see you here too. How have you been? What have you been up to these days? H shifter, that's perfect. Okay, let's go with the Scania layout so you guys won't complain at me. And I'll let you guys notice if there's any difference, okay? Welcome back, Trumpster. It's been a while. Your €4 is terrified of such numbers. FFV is very weak and wheel won't auto-center at all. Ah, yeah, that's a big thing actually, huh? they fixed that. So let's do some quick tests. How is it here? Is it lagging for you? Skipping frames or whatnot over here? I usually test it by moving the camera quickly like this and seeing if it's still smooth or if it's cutting. That seems smooth to me. Doesn't seem like there's any degradation in performance. Okay, good. Wow, the Windows update actually works. Alright, let's go and hear this beautiful engine. Still gonna get over it. Still my favorite. Max's next-gen Scanias are very nice, very detailed. And in some ways it's better than this, but just for the actual sound, the rawness of it. I really like the classic sounds of this truck. And let me know if you want it louder, because I think I put the sliders in middle for the commentaries. Oh, that's also something I need to modify with each and every profile I'm using. That flickering is due to the, look at that, acceleration. My pedals are a bit messed up, so you need to add like a dead zone here until that disappears. Oh, that's a lot. But if you do that, sometimes it works already. Just step on it hard and kind of give it a smack to refresh it. That's okay. Yeah, they are both great sound mods. Can't go wrong with either one. So depending on your mood, if you're in the mood for some more raw stuff, then this is your truck. If you like a more refined feel, then it's the next gen Scania, both in look and in sounds. Do I have to go here and then go back? Really? Yeah, I think so. Then we'll have to reverse all the way. Electrical contact cleaner. Ah, how does that work? Is that like a spray, or is that something you need to... I hope you don't need to disassemble the thing, because I'm lazy like that. Dang it. Potentiometer may be dirty. Yeah, in my rudder pedals, I think I need to do that as well. For flight sim, the rudder pedals have a bit of noise in the center. Do you guys do to clean that up? Is it gone? Really? Maybe it's not here. Little spray. Ah, cool. I'll definitely need that. Okay, we do have it. Okay, it's not expiring yet. It's just in a different establishment. Go, perfect. Now, maybe I should read my GPS better, because it does say right there. It's been a while since I went trucking. I think I last went trucking in the beginning of the week when I released that video. I think it was a Q&A video. Since then I haven't trucked yet because I've been too busy in flight sim studying the new plane that released. It's an airliner, so it's very complex in terms of the systems. I've been writing a checklist. The video coming out later is also flight sim. I know some people will be disappointed with that, but the heart wants what it wants. That being said, I do love the variety. That's why I go with trucking every Friday, for some chill vibes and some better hanging out experience. What is that truck, that road doing, and why does it look so weird, so off? It's like a secret road. Leads to somewhere that looks ominous. Let's roll. So what's it called? Electrical contact cleaner? I'll have to look if we have that here. Is that different from like the... I think I have a... what was it? A dry headlight usage. Interesting. Why would it... Is that new? Or is it somehow bad weather here and I just don't notice it? Interesting. Maybe here in France, we need headlights every time? I have no idea. Anyway, we'll see if that keeps up again later. So yeah, this perfect trucking vibe is what I look forward to every Friday. Because the flight sim environment, as much as I enjoy it, it's not very conducive for hanging out and chatting because it's very busy. It has those times when the workload gets so high that there is not much interaction with the chat. So there is less interaction, less interactivity. And then at some point when the flight mellows down, when you're at cruise, there's nothing to do and then you can chat fully. So it's like peaks and valleys of activity as opposed to trucking where it's almost always like a steady somewhere in the middle kind of thing. So you always are doing something, having your focus on the truck and on the roads, but not too much that you can't chat anymore most of the time. Should be hearing the new gravel sounds here from the road noise mod from Zeemod. It's very soft though. I think my sliders are a bit off. I do like the subtle crunching sounds though. I always get hit with that even if it's 6:30 in the morning with the sun out. I don't really understand it. In some countries in Europe, I guess because that's a law, right? Depends on the country. So the best indication for me before was to look at the AI vehicles, and if they had their headlights on, then I should have my headlights on because they know best, as long as it's not about the actual driving. Seems far too visible to warrant headlights. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Oh, Horm hardware. Can't say I've heard of it. Does that one have the thing I'm looking for, electrical contact cleaner? I can look for it. Maybe they have online shops. Most of the stores these days have some kind of online ordering system. So we have all those like Amazon counterparts. Amazon itself here is not that popular. Well, it is here, but it's not as popular as the local ones. The local ones have more reach and can link up with other multiple retail stores or something. Ah, nice, awesome. Thanks, Alex. That's going to be perfect. Yes, I would need that. So how do you use it? Just spray and then wait a few seconds, or does it need to be like wiped out, or sit there for like a couple of hours without touching? Do we have to do a ritual beforehand? Hopefully not. I think I bought before, yeah, it's probably a different thing. I think I bought a dry lube, was it? Can't remember the name. I think it's a WD-40, but a different variant and I use that for the HOTAS, the joystick, so that the joints will not be squiggly, will not be squeaky, so it will have a smooth motion. Is that a different thing? Just spray, it cleans and dries very quickly. Ah, nice. Alright, Ark. Have a good day. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, we're getting ready for Iberia too. The DAF XF I really want to get into, especially because Vadix has been updated, but I'm still waiting for a nice sound mod. I'm hoping that someone releases a great sound mod. If you guys know of any, let me know. The best I know so far is RJ Productions' rendition of EVR sounds. So EVR had a very old DAF XF 105 sound pack back when he was still doing freeware stuff, and then I think RJ Productions remixed those for Fmod, and that's what you can use already. I think it's part of his TRSM pack. He uses WD-40 products all the time. Yeah, it's very useful. It's like magic. One is a lubricant, the other is a cleanser. A cleaner. Okay. Gotcha. Makes sense. So what I will need to buy is a cleaner, huh? Okay. Cool. That will help. Hey, Azo. How are you? Welcome back. Hey, Freddy. Glad you made it. How have you been? When is she due again? Your adorable dog. What's her name again? It's a she, right? If you remember correctly. Thanks for sharing some pics. Jack Raid. Oh, that's cool. How'd the bus simulator go? You're just in time, Jack, with the bus simulator fever you've got going. I think a lot of bus simulators are coming out very soon. We have the Bus by TML, and we have what is it? Bus Simulator 21 from Astragon is the publisher. I can't remember the developers. I remember their logo. Oh, goodness, that got me. Thanks for resubbing, Arianos. Glad you made it here. 19 months, all in a streak. My goodness, has it been that long? We found each other when I started Flight Sim, right? Sometime there, I guess. And you've been teaching me a lot about airliners specifically ever since. Thanks for all the insights. Glad to have you in the community. Some real pilot experience. And of course, what's his name? I have to remember his name. Is it Damien? Super cute dog. Great suggestion, by the way, guys, that we add a pets channel in the Discord. Really alleviates the stress when you see those pets. The best I could do for now is look at pictures and videos. But that's good enough for now. I'll enjoy through you. So thanks for sharing. Posted a picture of the one you use. Nice. Is that a contact cleaner or something different? 30th March is Bus Simulator 2021. Yes, that's the one. Yes, that's the one. Still Alive. There you go. That's the name. Still Alive is the name of the developers. Thanks. I'll have a look. Wow. So yeah, I'm really excited to check out the bus in Bus Simulator 21. I am not sure how much they will be different. Well, I guess one is going to focus in Germany. The bus I heard is a 1:1 scaled bus simulator with a focus on Berlin in Germany. And I think they're planning on a detailed representation of Germany and the buses themselves. I'm not sure how hardcore it's going to be. I have to be honest, I still haven't watched any of the trailers you guys have been posting in Discord. And if you guys want to join Discord, everyone is more than welcome to, except the trolls. So !Discord gets you there. Compatible for PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch. Oh, even Switch? Nice. WD-40 contact cleaner. Okay, so that there's a WD-40 that's a contact cleaner. Cool. Right. The most famous WD-40 product, guys, what is that? Is that a cleaner or a lube? I think it's a cleaner, right? I remembered before I was searching for it if I could use it somewhere, and it said no. Because our electric fan started squeaking, and I thought I could just maybe clean it, but apparently it's a different mechanism. Lubricant is the most famous. Okay, I see. So that's what I'm using in my door locks, I think. Damien, there you go. White fluffy monster. Awesome stuff. Thanks for sharing the pics. I love it. Ah, I see. Thank you. Yes, that's what we have. We have the lubricant. So hard to know if you have headlights on. Man, this is a nice area, isn't it? I wonder which route we're actually taking. I didn't look at the map. Just drive and go. Pick a job and go. Yar, Jack! How's bus sim? Which one are you more looking forward to? The bus or bus simulator? I think I know your answer, but want to hear it anyway. Also, have you guys noticed yet the new thing? Is it working? It should be working. It's very subtle, but you should see it on the screen now. Maybe give you another hint. See something that changed? Does it work? Hopefully. Blame blah. Why? The WD-40 is not a very good lubricant. Oh, really? Ah, you would know, huh? Yes, definitely. What do you usually use if you need a lubricant? That's a nice looking castle. Let's take a photo when we get in the range. Oh, yeah, that's true. The D-Bus. Any news on that? I would love to play that here in Grand Utopia in Pomezania. Not sure how much bus simulation it's going to have, but I think it's going to be hardcore. If there's any indication of the developers who are involved there. 9 times small cute trouble. Who, Damien? Is he going to be a dad? Retarder indicator is working. Yes, finally. I fiddled around with the telemetry server again, and I finally figured out a way to show if I have my engine brake and retarder on. I would have hoped to trigger that only when it's working. Like for example, even if I had the retarder on or engine brake on. But if I had my foot on the pedal, on the accelerator, then the retarder and engine brake would disengage, right? I was hoping it would also go away, the indication. But right now, if I turn on the engine brake like that, you see an E in the overlay, just to indicate that I have my engine brake on. And then if I release it, then that is still on. If I step on the gas, then it's still there. I would have hoped that the E would disappear when I step on the gas. I'll have to fiddle around with it a bit more. Just a little detail, but I always wanted to show you guys whenever I had the engine brake. Because some people might be wondering, why is the truck slowing down without stepping on the brakes? Thanks, Cameron. See you there. The buses are in the workshop and they are good. Yeah, that's true. I haven't tried the buses because the buses alone, I mean, they will look great, but they'll not really feel like a bus, right? I mean, the actual bus elements, bus simulator elements will not be there yet. So I'm waiting for the complete package. So we're apparently driving over the N2 here instead of the I think there's a parallel road. I'm not sure if you can see it from here. That one looks like a train line. Might see some running trains there. Let Scotsman figure that out. See if he can spot anything. So any other tweaks, any other updates you guys have seen in 1.40? Because I've seen a couple of updates coming out. It looks like we are getting neater and neater I also actually, yeah, that's something. Who was it? Was it Panda? Someone pointed it out in Discord. In the update today of 140 beta, they're in the changelog. There's something about memory management or something like this, like change the default memory management thingamajig, and it didn't really make any sense to me. Go here on the right. We'll be yielding. So I'm not sure what it's about, but it seems like something around the, you know how we have the launch parameters to allow the game to use up more memory, so we lessen the stutters, you know, things like that. How we have those special launch parameters. It seems to me that that's what it's related to. So maybe they've increased the maximum capacity. Maybe we won't need the launch parameters anymore. Would be interesting to get some more details in there. But yeah, for now, it's a bit of a mystery. We'll see. I'll try and keep up with the ETS2 140 beta forum thread, see if there are any updates, and then I'll share accordingly. There was also one more item in there which was quite interesting, because it said something about the headlights. The rendering of the headlights was changed. I think it said that there will be no visual impact, so how it looks should remain the same, but they probably changed the rendering method to, I don't know, make it more optimized, hopefully. We do start to see it now. Very nice. Can you see it from here? Yes, you can already see it. So it is getting dark enough that we are seeing the headlights already. Also, did you guys read the blog post when SCS went under the hood and explained a bit more about the lighting? It's very complicated stuff, and I understood like half of what was written, but it's great. Getting into that detail shows you how much work they're doing. Yes, some people are not happy with this update. They don't like the lighting update. It's not a significant update for them, and I disagree there, but I understand we all have different tastes and preferences. So for some people it's not a big deal, but it's great for SCS to go into that level of detail, so at least people know they're not just sitting around and doing nothing. They're actually working hard. It's just that the things they're working on, some people are not as enthusiastic about it. Bridge shot incoming. Looks like a huge bridge at that. Let's see here. They keep adding skyboxes. That wouldn't be too far from the truth. Actually, I think they also mentioned that in the forum, in the blog post, right? That they've added a couple of skyboxes since. I guess those are better quality, I hope. Your old brain may not remember well. Somehow I can relate very well to that. Yes, that's the one. Increased default memory manager size. It seems to me it's related to those launch parameters, but I guess we'll need more detailed explanation on it. They feel okay in Pomizania because you have bus stops, no passengers though. Ah, yeah, so you can roleplay that you're stopping in each bus stop. Yes, that's true. I think in Grand Utopia they have the same. Ah, that looks beautiful. Looking more and more realistic. The thing I like the most, I guess, is the reflection on the truck. Somehow it just looks so real, especially when you're looking from the side mirror. Looking at your side mirror and you see the side of your truck there, that kind of reflection is the most realistic looking to me. Very nice. Wow, this is actually downhill. We're accelerating here, guys. Oh, there's now a retarder whine. Yeah, I can hear it now. Very nice. I just read Jack's comment. I'm I would love to hear that. I would love to get an under the hood of the sound situation. Because I'm sure they're doing something. I hope. Sometimes it just doesn't feel like it. So I think we need a bit of reassurance that they're not sitting around. But we still haven't had a Q&A session with them, huh? Like the developer interviews that they have. I'm still waiting for the sound guy. People would probably have a lot of questions. Multiplayer solitaire with the guy who's supposed to work on AA LOD. Well, that guy that's supposed to work on AA might be busy with the lighting at the moment. Just be a guy sleeping. Oh yeah, yeah. I think if anything, that requires the most under the hood kind of explanation. SES, we need an explanation because admittedly, the sounds everywhere else are good already. I mean, they're not Zeemod level, but they're good enough for base content. Everything in the sounds everywhere else in the game are good, except the actual truck sounds. I would put it that way. Unfortunately, like 99% of the time you hear the truck sound, so it's not that reassuring. Still have those problems with the mountains here that draw distance. I think this might be an older area of Grand Utopia. Although the good thing is, even in the older areas of Grand Utopia, you already have these beautiful, very gentle bending highways. I think even from the beginning of Grand Utopia, this was one of its highlights. When I first started driving through here, I remembered that was my major, that was the thing I liked the best about it. Because the default SES roads back then, a few years ago, they were very abrupt. They were very bendy too fast. And it didn't feel natural. So when I drove through here, I was like, this is how a highway should bend. This is how a highway should be like. There's no engine under that hood. Just a vacuum cleaner, maybe. Is that the toll gate? No, it's not. We have a pass-through. But first, photo time, because that's a beautiful bridge we just went under. Space legs. They are, I think. I heard that the bus is going to be multiplayer, but not in the beginning. I think it's... So if you look in the bus, they have a Steam page already. And in there, they explain their plan on the different phases of early access, because it will be releasing in early access. Phase 1, 2, and 3. I think the multiplayer part comes in Phase 2. If I remember correctly. Bus Simulator 21, I'm not so sure. I would imagine there should be. Because there's been one in the previous game, otherwise people would complain. But to be honest, I haven't seen so many details about it yet. I haven't researched about it so much. Sounds of engines copyrighted, because if so... But they have like the actual licenses of the trucks, so at the very least they themselves should have no problem with it. Even if they say they need, I don't know, maybe that's a different license. I don't think so though, I don't think so, because they are recording the sounds already. It's just that the mixing is not the best. So in terms of the raw files, it's there and they're recording them. It's not that they're really recording from a vacuum cleaner. I think they had some under the hood posts already before, where they showed the different recording equipment they're using. So they seem to have the right equipment. I wouldn't know, but it seemed professional enough. Oh, this looks beautiful, guys. One more shot here. If I can balance myself, that is. Maybe here. Wow. So yeah, I don't think the sound guys can use that as an excuse this time. Oh, it's not as good as I imagined. Oh, because this is the city. This is the city. No engine under the hood is today's reality. What with electric buses and whatnot, electric vehicles. Phase 2 2033. I think they're expecting, what was their plan? I think they told, am I remembering this correctly? I think they mentioned around 2 years. Oh, no. 1 year in early access? Oh, don't quote me on that, but it's somewhere in the Steam page. Hey, Jaguar. Thanks for 2 months, man. Appreciate it. How are you? Howdy, Yusuf. Brad Keselowski. Who is that? Whoever he is, I hope he's good looking. Almost hit that guy. I forgot I was driving someone on the side there. Good thing I looked on the right before I moved. Hey Lucy, have you been? Have you been busy racing or trucking or something else? Different license. Cummins engines, for example, are made by Cummins and not any sort of truck manufacturers. In Europe, it might be a bit different though, wouldn't it? Because the Scania trucks have their own engines. Or do they? But regardless, I think SCS would have the license because they already recorded engine sounds. So yeah, that's not going to be an excuse. At the very least, if they say they only got licenses for limited trucks for one truck, then there should be at least one truck with very nice sounds. I think we go here after that van passes through. Brad Keselowski is a NASCAR driver, just like me. Oh yes. So we have the same reflexes, same looks and same reflexes. My goodness. He's a lucky guy. I sure hope we don't have the same reflexes, otherwise I'll feel bad for him. Bus Sim 21 is far higher on your list. Yeah, I know your opinion on TML games. Yeah, the TML games have been constantly improving. They still have a way to go, and I like how they are working on their games continuously. But yes, still very much a work in progress. They are still a smaller company at the core of it. Smaller than SCS. Definitely much smaller, I think. All of the above and nothing. Expound. A Euro standard in the EU. Emission control regulation and top engine in these days is a new car. 1200cc diesel in pickup truck. Is that small? I would imagine that's small. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the problem. I think that's one of the problems why, if you guys remember that, what do you call it, a scandal? That scandal where the different truck manufacturers were cheating. No, not truck, car manufacturers were cheating. And were like cheating on their emission scores. Because I think there were some regulations that were impossible to meet. And they had to meet it somehow to keep the business afloat. So they had to be a bit more quote-unquote creative with how they do these emissions kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah, not sure. Don't know too many details on that, but I think both sides have a bit of fault in there. That there are improvements in both departments. You can't force technology. Yeah, that's true. I think it's a very delicate balance, isn't it? Because the regulations need to be, of course, need to protect the people, but at the same time you can't ask for the moon. So I think it's reasonable enough to ask for, or to put in some regulations that are, you know, to push the manufacturers a bit, so they don't just settle with what they have now. So improving bit by bit, but that jump in the improvement I think needs to be delicately balanced. It cannot be too small of an improvement, because progress will not happen, and it cannot be too big, otherwise it would be impossible to meet, and the manufacturers will be forced to do something to meet them, something that might not be legal or might not be ethical, or yeah, they'll find a way around it, because they have to keep the business. The business must go on, by hook or by crook. Scania, but you hate Volkswagen. How is it again in terms of ownership? I always get confused with this. Volkswagen owns what? Everything. Well, Disney Plus owns everything. Disney owns everything. Volkswagen owns which ones? You have idiot politicians making laws about things they know nothing about. That's very true. Yeah, that can be a very huge risk if that balance isn't there. If they decide on a number without any professional backing, you know, if it is not based on science, just something that they want to happen, then that might be a big problem. It's a very real risk. If you aren't sure, Volkswagen owns it. Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb. Volkswagen owns Disney. Oh, don't let Scotsman hear that. So shall we say Volkswagen Plus? Xiaomi owns not yet, but I think soon enough. Yes, Disney I think is the sure ball. Owns Scania and MAN. Oh, they own both of them, I see. But not Volvo. Volvo owns Volvo. Mitsubishi belongs to Nissan. Oh, do they? Which are part of Mercedes-Benz with Renault. And Nissan has Hino with Toyota. So basically everyone's connected to some degree. Interesting. How about Volvo and Renault? Don't they use like the same engines? Are they owned by the same people? By the same groups? Hey, Asap. Welcome back. How have you been? Do we move to the right? Yes, we do. Volvo Trucks owns Volvo, Renault, and Mack Trucks. So that's another layer of complexity. The trucks, like Volvo Trucks, is different from just Volvo or something. Is that how you read that? Good to hear, Asap. Been good as well. Waiting for the weekend. Man, I love the 1:1 timing. The 1:1 timing. 1:1. 1:1. Leave me be. Timing with the map. Because we've been in this kind of sunset vibes since the beginning of the trip, and we're still here. It hasn't set yet. It's like the super nice vibes. As long as we close the... Move the blur. There you go. Beautiful scenic sunset-y vibe. Volkswagen asked Nissan back in the 80s to market the... Not even familiar with that car. Passat? Is that how you read it? Somehow sounds wrong. I love hearing the tick-tocking of the clock in the background when you're on idle. Volvo Cars was divested from Volvo Group and sold to China. Wow, how complex is that? Everything is crisscrossing. Ford trucks are also Chinese. He's the F-Max. Yeah, from what I know, F-Max is Turkish. But maybe underneath it's also owned by China. I wouldn't know. Oh, by the way, did you guys see the road noise mod from Zeemod? I have it enabled. Did you guys see the video that he made for it? I'm focusing not more on the road noise, but the truck he was driving. Zeemod shared that with me offline. He shared the dashboard that he has. Looks different, very different from what you see here. He's driving a Scania T4 series, and I think he worked on a custom dashboard. Hopefully he releases as that together with the Scania T Sounds, the 164 he's making. By the way, what's the difference between the 144 and 164? I think it's the last digit is the series, right? So it's still a 4 series. And then the first 2 digits is the size of the engine, like 14 liters or 16 liters, is it? So that's probably still V8, but just bigger, maybe? I'm not even sure if I would be able to tell the difference between a 144 and 164, how it sounds. Which one, Bao Bao? The dashboard? I don't have it either yet. I will share with whatever I can. So Zeemod shares it. Yeah, this one I'm using is the old dashboard, not yet the one from Zeemod. Yeah, the one he has, the biggest change I noticed was that the speedometer had so many more grooves in there, so much more grooves. It looked a lot complex than this one. This one is very simplistic to look at. That looks a lot fancier. The 164 sounds better. It has a higher number. Actually, that's how I look at it usually. You know how it is when you're in a new restaurant or a new place and you don't know what's good and you have the budget, you want to splurge, you just look for the most expensive item in the menu. I'll have that. That should be the best one. More often than not, it's not really, but that's still what I use. Now, if I have a limited budget for that time, then that's a completely different story. It's turning right, okay. Oh, I wanted to share something. I listened to a podcast recently, and you guys will probably like, podcast, boo, unsub. This is interesting, especially for us guys, especially for us who are interested in the vehicles. I listened to a podcast from Freakonomics Radio. It's one of the most popular podcasts out there, I think. It deals with the economics of things and they tackle different topics. This particular topic was looking into the numbers, the reasoning, the psychology, everything about the difference of a traffic lighted intersection versus a roundabout. So it was basically asking why in the US we have traffic lights, why in Europe, in the UK, is what they looked at. Roundabouts are more common, and why is one being used versus the other. Very interesting stuff in there. So they looked at how safe it is, how expensive it is, and what is preventing one or the other from transitioning to the better solution. Just get a shot of this and I'll continue that story. And I found some of those things to be very interesting and not what I expected. Very insightful. I like it. Exactly, Arianus. Exactly. BAC. Oh, those are not official Ford F-Max, I see. Clumsy podcast. Oh no. Oh no. Clumsy trucking. Exact same trucks. Crocodile burgers. That's how you end up eating crocodile. Really enjoy the road sounds from Zeemod. Nice. Yes, indeed. About 20 better. Look at that, we know maths. Mythbusters found that roundabouts were far more efficient than four-ways in terms of cars passing through in a given time frame. Yes, that's also one of the points. Yes, that's a good point. That's one of the things they also checked. So there were interviews conducted with engineers, mayors, reporters, whatnot. But basically, they found that the traffic lights, setting up, for example, adding traffic lights on intersection is very expensive. It costs like more than a typical American house, I think is what they said, because of all the electricity, all the infrastructure that goes around it. So it's very expensive. So in terms of cost, definitely the roundabout is better in a way, because you don't need electricity, right? You don't need maintenance, or at least not that much. There's no electricity involved there. But the converting an intersection to a roundabout, that's when it can get hairy. And there are different scenarios for it. But even before thinking of switching to a roundabout, why would you need to switch? So they looked at the safety, the security aspect of it. By the way, thank you for following. Welcome to the channel and join us in chat if you're in the mood. In the meantime, I will share what I learned in the podcast. Ooh, what's that? That's nice. Looks like a hot air balloon with the Oscars trophy. Probably not how you would describe it. So the safety matter, they had some stats in there which I admit I could not really understand, but in short, the roundabouts were safer in terms of fatalities. So in terms of fatal incidents, the roundabouts had much less incidents. So in that way, it's safer for human beings. That being said, I think there were more incidents of property accidents, like cars hitting each other or something like that. So even though it was safer for the person, the people, because less people would die, it might be more expensive for people because more accidents, more cars hitting each other. But since their focus is not really on the properties, they're focused on human lives. So in that sense, having a roundabout is better from the safety aspect. And that's a very interesting point, just that alone. And it makes sense. Because I remember when I first drove in a roundabout, I had no idea. I still have no idea how to drive in there. So yes, oftentimes you would go in the other lane, or have the possibility of hitting someone when you're trying to exit the roundabout or whatnot, trying to go around it. But there would be very limited scenarios when you actually get into an accident that is serious enough to cause lives to be lost, as opposed to a traffic light scenario where if someone beats the red light, someone tries to rush through and hit someone else, then that can be devastating. So from the safety aspect overall, roundabouts are better. And then there's the one that NL mentioned, the safety, the efficiency or the effectiveness. I'll go into that in a bit, but let me catch up with chat first. officially sold as JMC, no license build. So who makes them? Who makes what? Does it come from Turkey? Does it come from China? Yikes, that's a very wrong angle. Let's do that again. I'll track Chinese companies easier. They look different, but market related. So the F-Max really gets built in Turkey, but what we're not sure of is if it's underneath a Chinese company. Interesting. Typically slower side-by-side ones. Yeah, exactly. That's the one. That's why there are less fatalities. There can be more accidents, more cars hitting each other, but less fatal. So safer as a whole. And then in terms of the efficiency or effectiveness, so they didn't really measure like how many cars can pass through in a what do you call that kind of a traffic lighted intersection, traffic lit versus a roundabout. But what they did is they thought about the efficiency in different aspect, like and this is very interesting, like it's like common sense but you don't really realize it until they say it. They say that a traffic lit intersection is only 100% effective during rush hours, for example. So maybe twice in a day, in the morning and in the evening. My goodness, I really suck at parking today. Let's do that again. Because when it's rush hour, then it balances the cars correctly, right? Some people would stop on the stoplight and then each side would get their turn. But in off-peak, you can imagine those times when there's no other car in any of the intersections. You're the only one and you're sitting there behind the red light and you have to wait. So in those off-peak hours, that's when the traffic flow is not as efficient. So that delays people unnecessarily. As opposed to a roundabout, which in a peak hour scenario, as well, this is a good actually supplement to that information in terms of traffic flow. Then it looks like it is able to have more cars flowing in them in a peak scenario. But even in off-peak, you can imagine, because there's no traffic light, you don't actually need to wait. There is no stoplight. You just always have to slow down. So every time, the entire day, you get full efficiency from the roundabout, whether it's peak or off-peak. That's like, yeah, that makes sense. Very interesting, a little bit of trivia there. So it looks like from safety aspect and from effectiveness and efficiency aspect, roundabouts are the way to go. So why do we still have traffic lights in there? It's a big question. What other factors are there? Oh, I always do this mistake. I think they should unify this. Just a single button to unload, whether you have a trailer or a borrowed, own trailer or a borrowed one. Oh, I did it again. The one with the most expensive car goes first. There we go, finally. Have a good night, NL. Happy weekend. Thanks for the tidbits. And thanks for hanging out. Let's look for a job and I'll continue my story as we go. How about that? Might be nice. And then next one we can go to Utopia. 14 tons. The longest trip. Wow, it's dark. Well, we can pick it up and then sleep, maybe. Let's have a look at the map. Yes, we can. Well, we can sleep here first. And then let's look what jobs are available. Right, that's a very good point. Yeah. Me plus. Is that guy still around? I thought we banned him ages ago. Private property rights here would complicate that horribly. Yeah, that would be an interesting thing. I'm not sure they covered it exactly. I think they said overall, in terms of price, converting one would be cheaper in the long term, because even though you have a huge one-time cost of converting the traffic lights into a roundabout, the ongoing maintenance cost will dip down tremendously. So in terms of cost, you will have it covered eventually. But in terms of like the size that is needed, I'm not sure if you can just like pad it up. Like it depends if there would need to be like buildings on the side of the, yeah, that's one aspect. Like normally you have those corner shops, right? Corner shops in the intersections of the traffic lit intersections, so those will be privately owned and stuff like that. So how would that work? I mean, how would the businesses thrive then? The businesses would suffer with that, or they would have to be dismantled or something like that. So that's where one of the complexities lie. Although it was a good point made by the mayor of a city in, was it Indiana? I forgot the name of the city. Was it Carmel, Carmon, something like that? I forgot the name, but I think it has this. It's the city with the most number of roundabouts in the U.S. And yeah, the mayor was saying, because the question was something about, won't the businesses suffer because you replaced the shops with a roundabout, so you can't have those buildings on the side anymore? And like it's I think our argument against it was something like, try and remember. Well, the focus on building roads is not to like promote the business of those corner shops. It's more to like facilitate the proper flow. And the argument was, oh, I love the lighting here. The argument was with the better traffic flow, you might actually get even more customers. Because if less people are stuck, you have more people overall flowing in and out of the city, then the businesses might actually get an advantage from that. So maybe a bit more indirectly, as compared to like people staring at the corner shop while they're stuck in the traffic light and thinking they'll go in. But maybe a bit more indirectly, because yeah, more people will be able to go. Maybe, I don't know. That requires probably more thinking about it. Yeah, it's a very interesting concept though. Although one of the major, maybe the biggest hurdle as well, is the psychological factor. Because changing from a traffic light to a roundabout sounds like a very big deal. I mean, even for us, right? As simmers. One of the biggest things that I notice, because I always say it's nice playing ATS and ETS2 because they gave very different vibes, and that difference in the vibe I would attribute largely because of, I mean, one of the biggest factors are the roundabouts. When driving in Europe, you get these roundabouts all over. In the US, it's mostly traffic lights and stop signs. And if I notice that, and if I have reservations about it, how much more the actual people who drive there. It's like if you get told, if you've been driving in normal four-way traffic lit intersections your entire life, and then you've been told, oh, we're changing that to a roundabout. I mean, what would be the reaction? Oh, that's wrong. So yeah, I think a big psychological factor in there as well. I mean, for me, as a person who's not familiar with roundabouts, the first time I encountered them, I was like, why would you do this? I mean, this looks very unsafe and inefficient. I think it requires a lot of exposure to get more acquainted, more familiar with that solution, to understand what it means. But from the beginning, I don't think people will have a positive impression on it. And of course, not everyone will be willing to divert focus into that, so it might be tricky. That's probably why you get less adoption. There's also an argument about, yeah, I mean, it might be good, it might be great, it might be the better, but it just feels too European. so the Americans don't like it. Is that like American pride? I don't know. Maybe it's somehow similar to like having yards, having their own measurements for everything. So they have their own lights as well. That could be a factor. It's a very interesting podcast with these tidbits, these topics that somehow relate to our experiences here as virtual truckers. So it's nice to be able to link them up together. Here you go, that works. How's the lighting at night now? That red looks very strong. But maybe that's because I'm too close there. We'll see. Hey Thor! How have you been, man? Been trucking recently? Terrible visions of blue-haired little old ladies around. Yes, that's true. I think it requires a learning curve, right? We've all experienced that driving in this sim. If you're from the US and if you've driven in ETS2, you probably had that experience, that learning curve of driving through roundabouts. I know I did. In the Philippines, even here in Singapore, we don't have many roundabouts. We hardly have any. And driving through one, learning to drive through one, it might require some adjustment. And some people might not take to that quickly enough. So that might lead to more accidents and whatnot, right? More inconveniences. You're trucking now. Oh, nice. Where are you going? Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is a very skimpy road, huh? Barely fit two trucks side by side. Almost just barely enough space in there. The lighting looks better. Let me look at that again later in the morning. If you have like the GPS, the phone GPS, and the dashboard properly lit up both at night and in the morning. Here at night, right now, looks good. Visibility is great. Might be a tad too bright, but that probably just requires a bit of tweaking. Some people get very mad about roundabouts. Mad as in angry or mad as in crazy? Or both? Yeah, so I think realistically adoption won't really change. Might be safer, might be cheaper, but at the end of the day, I think people will not take to it very positively. Nice to know though. So at least I have a more positive view on roundabouts now after getting that kind of knowledge. On your way to Oslo with the Scania R 480 box truck and trailer. Nice. Oh, it's been a while since I went to Scandinavia. The doggo in the cabin is quite okay with randos. He loves them. Meet Rex. Oh, you can barely see him. There he goes. Looks happy, doesn't he? That one. Let's do a bit of night driving, then we can find a rest area on the way and get back to our scenic daytime. Also, I didn't know this before, but apparently a roundabout is different from a rotary. You guys know what a rotary is? Because they say the rotary is not good because it's too large, but the roundabout is the one that's safer and more effective. The rotary, I think they don't deem as safe. They get irate at the change. Part of it is that they are most often installed here in rural areas where traffic isn't a problem anyway. So yeah, so I guess the officials then are just thinking of the costs, the ongoing costs, because yeah, there were interviews on how hectic it is to maintain these traffic lights in addition to like the actual lights and posts. Apparently after every few weeks or so you had to get an engineer in or something because they had to resynchronize. Somehow the timings would go off every couple of weeks or so, so you would have to sync them up every time, and that means a continuous manpower requirement. Can be quite dangerous, quite pricey, I can imagine, especially if that requires an engineer. Hey Panda, where have you been trucking recently? Is there no rest area on this side, man? Maybe I should have planned this better, huh? Yeah, the rotaries are apparently a different thing. I think, I'm not sure how exactly you classify them, but basically the rotaries are larger, much larger roundabouts. And I think the size kind of negates the positive effect, the safety factor in the roundabout. Because what makes a roundabout safe is because it's small, and that might sound counterintuitive, but because it's small, people tend to drive slower in it. You really have to go slow to fit in there and to go around, so that makes it safer. If it's large enough, then people will not slow down as much, and that makes things a lot more risky, a lot more dangerous. Okay, let's plan this out a bit. Might have missed a dang it. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. I think we'll have to go on detour there. Shall we? It's going way back there. Well, we can go through here and go loop around. Okay, let's loop around instead. Wait a minute. Can I not go through here and then there? Yeah, that should work, right? Yeah. That shouldn't be too bad. Or, no. Go through here. I think it's confused how to get there. There you go. I think because that one is not like a T-junction, I think that's a highway. Maybe. Might be tricky. Well, we'll see. We'll go here and then we'll see what we find at the end of that road. I think I remember this part at least. We've been on ATS mostly. Nice. Any new changes you've noticed? Oh, that's actually closed. Okay, so that that kind of solves the problem. Apparently can't go there, so we really have to drive here at night unless I can go through there. Can I? Well, it's a bit too late now. Dang it. Yeah. It's too late. Alright, let's find something here then. Let's go through that way. There you go. Thank you for following, by the way. I think I missed someone. Thanks for joining. Feel free to join the very lively chat in there. I'll let you guys debate on that Chinese factor or not. It's way above my pay grade. I'll focus on roundabouts instead. Yeah, I'll have to look it up what a rotary is. Might be those things that we see in the UK, the weird roundabouts. The ones with the traffic lights? I am not sure. Which kind of negates the... Yeah, that's a good solution. Roundabouts with traffic lights. A lose-lose situation. Good. Go right here. Well, I guess we can go sleep on the side of the road if we really want to. Might as well do that. 19 hours. Yeah, that should be more than enough. Okay, let's stop here. Ideally, there would be like a rest area or a shoulder, a bigger shoulder than this, but we work with what we have. Grand Utopia updated. It works well enough with 140. Yes, although it was not updated specifically for it. It works fine for the most part. I think it only needs to update probably the tunnel definition, so you have the echo. So I think that's a different factor now. Alright, so what can we do here? Let's do something. Let's stay. Good night. And good morning. Did it work? There you go. Yeah, works great with 140. It's not cheating, it's sleeping. Sleeping with style. And that guy's actually waiting for me. Nice AI logic in there. Even put the whole stream to bed. Oh yes. The power of the stream deck. 1 hour 9 minutes. We have 11 hours. Oh, no problem right there. Enjoy more Grand Utopian highways. Right, Thor. Thanks for dropping by, man. Enjoy. Catch you next time. Happy weekend as well. So what are you guys looking forward to? Any new truck you're aiming for? Any new game? Any new series? Any new food? Oh, food. We'll have an Italian. Me and Mrs. Clumsy have a date later. We'll go to an Italian resto. It's been a while since we last went. They haven't replied to me yet though. I booked for a reservation. I can almost taste it. The rotary versus roundabout. Ah, there you go. Thank you. I'll have a look. That's perfect, Jack. So for me, I'm looking forward to Italian food. Looking forward to the bus Simulator 21 as well. And of course, looking forward to flying the CRJ more. My goodness, that is one complex plane. Although I found it's not as perfect as I thought it would be. There are more issues with it, more tweaks needed. But not big ones. Some tweaks, some adjustments, some realism, not quite there yet. But I don't think it's any showstopper. Just need some workarounds in the meantime. I just hope that Aerosoft has a very fast turnaround time when it comes to updates, because I haven't had much experience with them when it comes to their planes. So I think the Aerosoft builds planes for P3D and FSX maybe, but not X-Plane. and my only other simulator was X-Plane, so I don't have any experience yet with Airsoft until this one. So I'm not sure if they're the type who makes updates quickly, reacts quickly with the necessary changes and fixes. Oh, it's a very nice looking bridge. And when it comes to, because compared for example, Just Flight, the Arrow, the GA plane that I've been flying for the past few weeks, absolutely loving that plane, and looks like there is a huge update coming up fixing literally all of the complaints that people have had. They really were listening. My goodness. Amazing feedback system in there. It's not you explaining it. Why? I like your driving time explanation. Good way to pass the time. No indication of release date for Bus Sim 21. I heard it was March. I heard from someone, although... Did we discuss it? Did that someone post it in the Bus Sim channel? I'm not sure if there's any... I'm not sure if it's correct though, if that's just rumor. So me personally, I haven't heard. And I have been in touch with the developers, I think I can say that much. So I am keeping a close eye on its release, and they haven't given me an actual date yet. Or maybe I just forgot, I hope not. But yeah, I would have expected they would tell me if there's something coming up. So maybe not yet. We'll see. Hey, thanks for following. Welcome to the channel. You can join us in chat if you're in the mood, or lurk away if that's your thing. More than welcome to do either way. Hope you enjoy regardless. You had their Dash 800Q for FSX. Just Flight. Ah, it's great to hear. Airsoft not that quick when it comes to reaction times. That's what I would have expected with a large company like that. It would be less agile but more what do you say, structured. That's more often my impression on like bigger companies make these very organized moves at a slower pace versus the smaller companies, which sometimes can be a bit rough around the edges but are very agile and very reactive. Notice no Steam page either. Ah, I see. Yeah, might not be ready then. Maybe not March then, huh? Maybe too early. They might have told me way back about rough plans on when it's going to be. Probably this year. But I'm not sure they went into any more detail than that. Hopefully this year, huh? Otherwise, calling it Bus Simulator 2021 might be a bit misleading. I think we're exiting here. Oh, actually, we don't need to stop there anymore because we kind of slept already. So we don't need to stop there anymore. We can just continue on our merry way here through the highway all throughout. You guys want to go and... No, I think this is good. You can take the highway all the way through, or... you can actually go on a side route, a bit like that, a bit of twist in there. Might be nice, scenic route. Just a bit of highway and countryside feels. Not sure if I went on the right route here. 800Q, 800Q. Oh, is that the wrong model? I wouldn't know. I know of a Dash 8, but I've never flown it. I'm looking forward to it sometime though, because I heard it's a very famous plane. I have to stay here to the left. Revealed. I hope so. I hope so, but they haven't really told me. But if they did, I wouldn't be able to tell you anyway, so I can neither confirm nor deny. Clumsy. Oh my goodness. Some people are still commenting on that post that I made showing that clumpy incident. I should have just called it that, huh? The clumpy incident. Bus in 2021. What I remember is I think they posted in their channel. What was it? Some tie-ups with actual bus manufacturers, I think, in the US, if I remember correctly. Because I think in Bus Simulator 2021 or 21, they have US map already. I think. Would be a nice change. Although our buses common in, but I guess there would be buses for sure. Maybe not as common, but maybe in some of the cities where taking your own car in is not very practical. Like, I don't know, in Chicago, maybe? New York? From what I remember in OMSI, I think there was a Chicago DLC which had very nice reviews, I think. Did I even try it? I think I tried it as well. Very nice bus lines. So there is a bus opportunity. Yay! What the heck is that guy doing? In the US. Clumpy squeaks. Bluebird buses. Quite common in cities. Makes sense. Especially because these are city buses. Not like coaches like Fernbus. I guess the coaches would be less famous because if you would take a bus, then probably you'll just take a car. Although I think there are some buses, right? Like, what was it, Greyhound or something? But maybe not as plenty as in Europe. I'm not sure. Just guessing. With the real estate, the land area though, it would seem like anything that goes on land would be very lucrative. Bluebird also makes many school buses. Ah, nice. So are those the yellow school buses, like the ones you see in the movies? Those are Bluebird? Or I guess they all look the same. Different brands, but they all have that same vibe to them. That's how the buses here in Singapore look like. The city buses we have, they are made uniform, like same liveries. So you would really have to spot if that's a Volvo or a Scania or a Mercedes. They're very different to spot from afar. So we have been getting some very nice buses recently. Some, what do you call them? I think we even have fully electric buses now. Some hybrids, but also some fully electric buses. And then I like the inside because there are like screens now showing you the next stop. There's an audio feature, a lady telling which bus stop is next, so you don't have to constantly look at Google Maps and see where you are, stuff like that. Even if you're going somewhere you're not familiar with, you can just look at which bus stop you need to get off and yeah, look for that in the screen. Very useful stuff. And then I think they also have like USB ports now for charging in some of the newer buses. It's nice. All school buses are yellow. Ah, okay, so it's the law. I see. Makes sense. So what we see in the movies is quite accurate, huh? Did we resub already, Jack? Or is that the double resub syndrome? As long as you pay twice as well, I'm all good. Thank you. GG, man. 35 months. BS21 has scrap Vecco. So how is it? I think maybe they would have like a European and the US map, maybe? Probably. Double resub hype. Between coach and bus. For me, coaches are the ones which travel long distances. And buses those are the ones with like the luggage compartment at the bottom. And then the buses for me are the city buses. But that's my personal definition. That might not be the technical term. I guess at the end of the day, they're all buses. Because it's a coach bus, I think. So it's a type of bus versus a city bus. Two large game environments inspired by the US and Europe with an even more generous open world setting, inviting players to freely explore their surroundings. Nice. Can you make a line that goes from Europe to the US? The city bus would take a ferry to get to the US and do a stop. Oh my goodness. Maybe someone can mod that in. Bus 21E Express or Bus 21F for ferry. Hey Camelot Lord. Starting work on mods for ATS and ETS. Ooh, fancy. Yeah, you need some great passion in there. Need some great motivation to get that working. It helps if you have something you're really interested in putting in, like something that you think is really lacking in the base game, and you would want to see that yourself. That I found for me is the best motivator for working on mods. All the mods I've been working on is mainly a selfish thing. Like, oh, I want these sounds to work with this truck, so I mod the sounds. I want this phone GPS to have a speed limit sign, so I mod it in. Otherwise, if I just think of what I can do, I find that personally, it's very hard to continue with the project. Because why am I doing this if I'm not interested in it? If I'm not going to use it. Some very nice sceneries here. Reminds me a bit of Pomezania, this route here. The lush forest. Although I think when it comes to forest, Pomezania is top shelf. It's the is that the right term? Is the number one at the forest, the landscaping. But when it comes to variety of different landscapes, Grand Utopia has it. So both maps have their strengths, but you can't go wrong with either one. You call them by organization, TC or city. BMTC for the city bus, and KSRTC for long routes. Ah, I see. And that makes sense, because different companies handle different routes. Enhanced management options. Detailed drafting of timetables. Oh, nice, a timetable. The possibility to visit different bus dealerships spread out across the map. Route planning and consideration of passenger volume in different peak times. Nice. Sounds fancy. I'm hoping they have a detailed, what do you call it? IBIS? The thing you program? I doubt it though, because that seems too hardcore for the casual player. I'm hoping there is, but I don't think there will be. Yeah, it's like OMSI level right there. Might be too hardcore for the console player. Hey Hades, how are you, man? How have you been? You can have the game run your bus company and all you do is drive. Like that, minimal thinking. Oh, so you have that option? That would be nice, yes. So you can have different, like, it would be nice if that could change depending on your mood. Like, you don't just pick it in the beginning of career mode and it's, they're like, you can automate it. They can have the AI manage your company for you. But like, you can step in from time to time and micromanage if you're in the mood. I like if they can do it like that. Where are you guys seeing this info, by the way? You don't have a Steam page yet, right? 6 years experience in Blender. That's great to hear. Yeah. So something that keeps you makes you really interested would be my advice. Look for something you would want to have yourself, and then work from there. Oh yeah, the RGL fix for 140, which I'm using. Definitely. selfish motivation, but ends up helping some people along the way. I like that. Yeah, definitely agree, Alex. Very different vibes. I like jumping, photo time, jumping to each map from time to time, exploring them more. It's a bit hard to see. Can't tell. Now, who has early access? Dang it. Now I know how it feels. Oh, by the way, Alex, did you consult Jack about that already? Is that just a limitation on the Thrustmaster wheel? Alex was saying something about the wheel not centering. Doesn't have any centering thing, unlike in the Logitech wheels. It sounds weird. I would think that's like a common feature in a steering wheel. Auto-center logic. The bus can take a running jump. Wouldn't know Hades. I looked at the changelog, but it didn't make sense to me. Some fixes under the hood, I think, and some more bug fixes in the maps. Yeah, I hope someone deciphers it and tells us. Good, man, good. Looking forward to the weekend. On air, yes, definitely. Guys, I'm having so much fun in on air. Not really because of, well, it's because of the platform, it enables things, but I'm having so much fun in on air because of our on air folks, our VA managers and members. If you guys look at the Discord server, I'm not sure if you guys drop there from time to time, the VA, the virtual airline section of the Discord server, that is filled with lots of activities, planning, managing and stuff. It's really a full-blown airline company. It's more like an airline cooperative, cooperative more than an airline, maybe is what I would say. So each one of us has our own voice and shares inputs, and then we all contribute and make the VA what it is right now. To be honest though, I didn't really contribute much there, so it's mostly them doing the hard work. I'm just like the poster boy for it. But in terms of contribution, those guys are really hard workers. Seeing something like that for trucking would really motivate me to truck more, because there is something that you build towards, something you build together. You know, that kind of management, that kind of, and that not everyone needs to be a manager, right? Having something that you guys will, like, it's a group experience, you know. Like, and I think Logit, VT Log, has a is a potential candidate there, because it's already tracking all this information, all the jobs, it's logging. It has a finance aspect in there. It needs to be developed though, right? Put that money to some use. It's kind of like that's going to take a while. Ban. Oh my goodness. Jack helped you greatly already. Nice. So that's why you let him win. Putting in the Discord command first. That was intentional, Jack. You just thought you won. That was Alex being kind. Crazy from on air. Can I just get things working somehow properly? It's a bit of a learning curve. On air does not have the best user interface. It's great, the concept, the implementation is very complex, but the user interface, it's not the best. So it does require some getting used to. But yeah, it's the best, for me it's really the best management app there for VAs. Because if there was no VA in on air, I would have stopped a long time ago. I would have jumped to Sky Park. Sky Park is really amazing for that single player experience, giving you a reason to fly and building towards something. But you build towards something on your own in Sky Park. If you have a VA, you contribute. You have that communal experience. Is that how you use the term? And I didn't know how much it meant and how great it feels until I really got into the VA and started getting into the discussions, you know, planning which FBOs to create, planning how much fuel we need in this base versus that one, and then flying, planning the routes, which one is the best route for which plane, and then doing the actual flying. And those are for the managers, but if you're like the guy who like just wants to fly, you can let the managers do their stuff and you just fly. So either way, there's a win for everybody. Oh my goodness. This looks like a really great scenery. Let's take a photo here. Back like this. Alpha Star, good morning. How have you been? Releasing Iberia next month. Yeah, they confirmed that, right? Sometime in April. Looking forward to it, definitely. There's some... Oh no, it's good. That looks great. And that one is a sign of things to come. That bus. Bus simulators making a comeback in the channel very, very soon. 90 is the speed limit here, right? Yeah. That truck is just slow. Installed it, then uninstalled it. Which one, Jack? On air? Or something else? Yeah, join us in the VA. You'll have fun there. I'm sure it will get you into Flight Sim. The guys have a way of getting you hooked. Our members in the VA, they're very passionate. So when they talk about these things, you can't help but join in on the discussions. And then like, oh, that's cool. And then you'll kind of get that healthy pressure, peer pressure of contributing something and not being a freeloader like I am right now. So you kind of want to do jobs consistently so that you put your own share in. There's kind of that aspect as well. Seeing that in a VTC is going to be absolutely amazing. That's something that we don't have yet in trucking, and I think I know why. Well, I haven't, and this comes back to the payware versus freeware discussion. But I think it's because doing that is a lot of work. And doing that for free is a lot of work. And if you don't put priority on that because it's something you do on your free time, then that thing will not get done. In order for that to really come into play, someone has to devote their full time into it. And you can only devote your full time into it if it's payware. If you get paid for it, oftentimes. So I think the reason why we have not seen that yet is because in the trucking community, paywares are generally frowned upon. And no one is making a payware economy system. So those who are doing it for free can only do it when they have spare time. Like VT Log, for example, it's a great app, absolutely amazing for logging. But in order to move forward, I think more effort, more time needs to be put into it. Because right now, I think the developers have a full-time job, so they only work on it when they have spare time. Imagine if this was their full-time job, then we probably would have gotten that system a long time ago. This is why I really like payware. Not very hyped for the SES map. Iberia, you're not a fan? Oh, why not? Yeah, me too. That private server thing. I hope it's really how it looks, how it works. Because they say it's MP, but they haven't really shared much. Oh, this looks beautiful. This windy bridge. I'll take a photo here again, guys. Sorry. And then I can get back to chat afterwards. This bend would be amazing. Yes, that's the one. Yeah, there you go. Exactly what I was hoping for. Spaghetti Junction through and through. I think I remember this route, going through here a couple of times. It's been a while since I've driven here though, that I kind of vaguely remember it. Yeah, just enough. Oh, they gave away Iberia DLC keys. Wow, cool. So when it releases, you can get access to it. Nice. Congrats, man. That's great. Yeah, at this point we need mods. Sound mods in particular. Sound and map mods maybe. FX Passengers, what was that? Also an economy system. Yeah, the VA, the multiplayer experience of the VA. Not really flying together side by side, but like contributing to the same company. Iberia and Heart of Russia. Nice. Yeah, Texas has been announced as well. I see. That's why. Yeah, it's a great shot, Panda. Yeah, recently the mods I'm using, they're not as plenty as before. I could get rid of some now. Like graphics mods, I don't have any anymore. So I'm pretty happy with the default graphics now with 140 beta. Sound mods are an entirely different matter. Traffic mods, I'm not using any either. I don't think I'm also using any actual custom AI cars. I'm pretty happy with the default offering. It's getting better and better, more variety. And when you stick with SCS traffic models, you're sure that it's all optimized, so you don't risk yourself with slowdowns. So yeah, in terms of truck parts, I'm not really the kind of guy who likes the flashy trucks. So normally I like very simple looking trucks. So I don't have a lot of accessory mods. And in terms of truck mods, well, I have the 4 Series. That one is a non-negotiable. So I still have some, but not as many as before. Wisconsin. Wasn't it Wyoming? Or was that different? They did explain needed to install Tolis A319. Ah. So the sounds are way different without BSS. Yeah, I've heard the sample sounds from BSS, they're so good. Romods and Rust map. Classic combo right there. I miss pro mods. I miss our season 2 of ETS2. I want to get back there. When 140 goes live and when pro mods updates, we'll get back to season 2. Yeah, Wyoming first, then Texas. I'm not sure if there's going to be anything in between. I'm going to guess it's Wyoming and then Texas really. Although they did say that Texas, they're not even sure if they can deliver this year. With the size of that. But I'm pretty happy with the Iberia sizing. I was surprised when they showed the map and it showed the entirety of Spain and Portugal in there. I would have thought it was only a section. Very nice. Oh, did they announce that it's next year already? The last time I checked the blog, I think they still said they can't promise it this year. Ah, okay, so they locked that down now. I see. So does that mean we'll only be getting one DLC for ATS this year? Do you guys think they'll squeeze one in? I have my doubts. ZNMD, what is that? That's true. 2020 was ATS's year. So yes, a very nice BTC would be perfect. But yeah, with the way the trucking community is, I don't think people would be willing to pay for a BTC. It's just a very different community. So I don't think anyone will work on it. So for now, we'll just have to settle with what we have. Wasn't Montana for ATS. Hey Slider, how have you been, man? Where have you been driving recently? Where is Montana geographically? So Colorado, Utah, Idaho, Wyoming is somewhere in between those, right? If you remember right. On the border in Canada, east of Idaho, north of Wyoming. Nice. Okay, I haven't forgotten completely, thankfully. Right beside Oregon Rideau, both. Zindagi Namilegi Tobara. Probably read that wrong. So that's like YOLO. You don't get to live twice means you only live once. So basically ZNMD is YOLO. Is that a fair enough comparison? Features an Iberia road trip in those cities are there in SCS map. Oh nice, so you could recreate the movie. Cool. Yeah, that would be cool. And it's a northern state, nice. Indy is good. Is there a kappa at the end there? I have no idea what I said. I hope that's not anything. No cursing in there. Oops. Wyoming's its current ATS map better than Montana. Yeah, Wyoming would fit nicely in the middle, huh? Flesh out the map even more. Montana would be a bit cut off at the moment, so definitely Wyoming first, then if ever Montana. But they decided Wyoming and then Texas, which is nice. ZNMD is YOLO. Windsock, I miss flying already. Don't have enough hours to fly. Yesterday, what was that? Yeah, yesterday I couldn't even join Jack's stream, right? I was up very early, like I woke up at 3 a.m. because I was super excited with the CRJ and I had coffee at night. So my sleep was interrupted both by the excitement and by the caffeine. And I couldn't sleep anymore, woke up at 3. Just like a real old guy. And then, so I decided around 4 a.m. around 4 something, checked my phone, finished replying to comments and stuff, getting up to date. And then I went on my PC to fly. And I started figuring out the CRJ again. Oh, goodness. RIP. Anyone know what fighter jet that is? I know nothing about fighter jets, about military jets. So yeah, I went online, went on the CRJ, fumbled around, screwed things up, tried on air, screwed that up as well. And I almost couldn't manage a video for today. Like I spent how many hours is that? Let's say 5 a.m. until around 11. So 6 hours I was fumbling around trying to record, trying to get used to stuff. but because so many different complexities in the plane, in flight simulation, in CRJ, in on air, and everything, some days are just challenging, and I almost couldn't get anything. But I did one last try. I got so frustrated that I made my own checklist, made it organized and everything, and I was able to make a video, like a cold and dark startup procedure video, using that checklist that I was making. So far it looks good. Maybe not perfectly realistically accurate, but works good enough in a simulator environment. So that's what I was sharing in the Flight Sim channel, that checklist. So there's a video coming out later. I finished recording that around 12 noon, just in time for lunch, to prepare lunch. Whew, I made it just in the nick of time, otherwise there would have been no video today. Yeah, sometimes you cut it very close. Sometimes you don't really cut it at all. Retarder and engine brake. Beautiful. Did not need to step on the brakes at all. Car on the right. No, not this time. Single DLC for Rhode Island. Where is Rhode Island, guys? That seemed like somewhere in the East Coast. Maybe? Is that near New York? The Northeast in one single DLC. Montana is to the east of Idaho and north of Wyoming. DC DLC, that would be great. Oh crap. Is it this one? Yes. Almost missed my turn. Right and then left, okay. Before must have been applying some nice updates coming to their map along with patches stuff too. Yeah, they're having that unified map, right? Any news on it? Any progress? They shared that with the patrons, the beta version, but I'm not sure if Eblim deleted it. So I tried looking at this Patron after the stream. When we checked it out, they couldn't find it anymore, the links to the beta with the combined Reforma map. Wrong lane. Wrong lane again, my goodness, this is a complex junction. Thankfully the GPS is up to speed, because I think we are branching off to the countryside now, going away from the highways. And the performance has been silky smooth though, huh? Is it the same on your end? My goodness, I haven't felt this smooth FPS in a while. I think the Windows update has a lot to do with it. That, and of course the map itself, the optimizations. Trying to catch up with chat. Hawaii DLC. Oh my goodness, I would love that Hawaii DLC. Based on what I've seen in Flight Sim, it's amazing. Not sure how road friendly it is though. There's many volcanoes in there. Balkans. Yeah, who knows? For me personally, oh look at that guy we're taking. We're trying to overtake. For me personally, I would be happy if they stopped for a bit after Russia. I would be happy if they stopped a bit after Iberia. I'm pretty happy with the size of the map, the base map for now, if they can focus on improving first the old areas. Because right now I have some like off-limits areas if I'm sticking to the default map. There are some very dated areas in there already. So like to get to the new area, you have to cross from using the old area, which is not very good experience. So for me, if I were to be the one who decides the priority, and I'm not, I would rather focus on the reworks than creating new areas. Because as you guys know, I'm more of a quality over quantity kind of guy. I'm okay with having a smaller map as long as all the areas are fleshed out. And right now, because of the old areas, those areas are not fleshed out anymore. Oh, this looks great. Let's take a photo here right on top of this bridge overlooking everything. Then you can get back to chat. Brexit update. What would that entail? Oh, I think you have our thumbnail. I think we have our thumbnail here. Nice combination. You have roads, you have bushes, you have tunnels. All the works. See if the other side looks any better. Ireland and Iceland. True. Oh, this one looks great too. So hard to choose. There's a photo bomber at the back though. Yeah, exactly. Especially the UK. So old already without the additional things. Without the mods. Fixing the lighting there should help a bit. Oh crap. Shoot. Almost tipped over there. Wait a minute. I think we stay on the right. Shoot, almost missed that. Yeah, that's very true. Rebuilding the old map gets you no revenue. I would gladly pay for a DLC that reworks these areas, but not everyone would feel the same. So I don't think they can do that, a paid DLC for reworking old areas. So I don't think we'll see that. Well, we'll see it, but not at the pace that we like. Sorry guys, so many photos. Blame the beautiful sights here in Grand Utopia. Oh yes, nice. Nice collection of houses there. Let's take a more like artistic shot here. So, rotate a bit. Should get some lessons from Panda. Panda is a very talented photographer. Do you take photos in real life, Panda? I noticed the angles that you take are very scenic. The composition of the photo is very nice. I think some people call that the photographic eye. Rework DLC hype. Yeah. Because right now they're putting in the reworks more of a, what do you say, like an afterthought maybe? Is that too, maybe that's too harsh. But it's not a priority, right? It's like an add-on. If they make that into a DLC, that can be made into a priority. But yeah, right now I'm not going to the UK at all in the base map. Not going anywhere near there. The roads are just bad now. Faroe Islands too. True. Balkans and Greece. That would be a great addition, huh? Yeah. But in order to get to Balkans and Greece, you would have to cross through, if I remember, Hungary. Did I get my geography right? And I think Hungary is very old in this game. Northern Scandinavia. Yeah, so many nice areas to expand into. But I think, yeah, still top of my list would be the reworks. If I had a choice which one to pick first, so I can go anywhere. Liechtenstein. Iceland DLC would be great. You guys getting skips? Let me know if you are, okay? Maybe it's the trees. Not getting frame drops per se, but I'm noticing some skipping in the stream. Minor skips. Thanks, that might be the preview. So maybe it's not yet perfect. Okay, that should have... Okay, let's monitor it. I think this area is not so optimized, so too many trees. Romania and Bulgaria. Romania should be new, right? With the Black Sea DLC, but yeah, the people have not been very happy with that, especially the locals. The clumpy face cam. Let's try something. So if I remove the preview, maybe I still need to remove it, huh? How about that? Is that smoother? Face cam. Yeah, I should have hidden the face cam. Looks better. Okay, great, thank you. Alright, so let's keep the preview off. That confirms it. So I think in a less strenuous situation, it's smooth, but when things get hairy, when things get bushy, the drops can happen. Steering wheel issue. What was that steering wheel issue? Hungry now. Oh man, I'm hungry too. What will I have for lunch? Not in the mood for salad anymore. Lurk away, Jay. I'll come back. Yeah, even my GPU is getting maxed out. 96-97%. That's probably what's causing the stutters when I have preview on. Monaco in the Promods forum from back 2018. Where and what is Monaco? Why does it sound familiar? Right, yeah, I use it as admin already. It's a bit weird that skipping, because it's not really, how do you say, it's not really detected as a frame drop. So I have my OBS statistics open here, and the frame drops, the skipped frames and frames missed, it's not really increasing. So from OBS's point of view, I'm not skipping any frames, but we see it. So, and I think it's just about the full screen, the Windows management system of the full screen, the 3D applications. I think that's just a weakness of it. Bit weird. East of Nice in Italy. East of Nice. Is it in the same island? Steering sensitivity got weird. Ah, I see. Mine still is the same, I think. Yeah, mine is still the same. Although I am using a custom one. But are you guys using a controller? Or a steering wheel? Maybe they did change. Oh yeah, Nice in France. Okay, now it makes sense. So that's near Genova? Isn't east of Nice Genova? Looked a bit like micro rubber banding. Very, very slight. I wonder what's causing that, huh? Yeah. A while ago it wasn't there, right? So I guess when the GPU has a hard time, it's having a hard time juggling the different 3D applications, and it's not juggling them perfectly anymore, so you get that bit of apparent or visible stuttering. That's okay, I'll just keep off the preview. It's not that useful anymore anyway. Did I get lost, or is it really just really where we're going? Making a U-turn here. Just west of the Italian border. Ah, I see, I see. So in between Nice and Genova. Nice. Car no further than 20 minutes. Oh yeah, that's very near. So we basically make a U-turn here. Okay. Good. Hey, Trooper Bean. Thanks for the bit. Where are you? Why the sad face? North of Latvia and west of Ireland. Makes sense. Can almost picture it. Oof, too fast. No reason. Okay. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? What if you're using a controller? Ah, maybe they did mess up something with the controls. I think I remember someone commenting about the physics as well. Did something change with the physics? Not sure if it's probably just me recklessly driving, but the truck seems a bit less stable in bends. Might be because I'm just driving too fast. I've been looking more into anti-aliasing, by the way, just to get a better idea. Oh, this looks nice. Very custom looking junction. It's very heavy on FPS though. It's heavy on FPS from the CPU side. Too many objects, I think, because my GPU has gotten tremendously lighter load. So the CPU is bottlenecking. But yeah, I was looking into anti-aliasing a couple of weeks ago. I wanted to know more about the different kinds of anti-aliasing, and because I remember Bengan was mentioning something about so right now the anti-aliasing what we have is mostly like a post-processing step. Like the image, the objects are rendered, and then as an after effect the edges are smoothed out. So that's post-processing, right? That's the anti-aliasing we have. I think there is a better anti-aliasing method. At least that's what Bengan and the others are hoping for when we say we want better anti-aliasing, is for the anti-aliasing to be actually part, not only as an afterthought, as a post-processing step, but actually part of the rendering. But I haven't quite gone into that detail yet in knowing how that works, or what kind of anti-aliasing that could be. Is that maybe the TAA, I don't know what you call it, but so far what I've seen, the TAA anti-aliasing is very good. And if anyone has more details, feel free to share. Because I think Flight Sim 2020 has the TAA kind of anti-aliasing, which is very nice. Almost don't see any rough edges at all anymore. I think it's fairly modern as well, a fairly modern way of anti-aliasing, what I've seen. I think I remember Derail Valley also uses it, recommends using TAA, if I remember correctly. I think they tweak the physics, maybe, huh? Yeah, especially in a controller, I think you'll feel it, because the more sudden the movements are, your cabin will really shake a lot more. Is that a giraffe? It is. Very nice. Speaking of roundabouts, right here. Is that a roundabout or a rotary? I would imagine that was still classified as a roundabout. Too far from Russia. Too close to become part of Russia. Goodness. Russia is huge, huh? Wanted roundabouts? Getting roundabouts. And look at the view behind us. Let's take a photo here. As we round this bend. The giraffe about. Oh, that's one more argument for roundabouts. Because with roundabouts, you can actually design the center aisle. So the artistic folks will have an edge there. Not very strong argument in my opinion, but it can be an argument if you look at it that way. Because apparently they have there in the UK, what was it? It's like an organization, a club, the Roundabout Club or something like that. So they look at roundabouts all over the world, and then they like have this awarding or something. But there is I guess you can find a group for anything. And yeah, they are the experts when it comes to roundabouts. Earth is too small for Russia. Giraffe. Are there giraffes in Hunter? In Africa? I think I had that issue before, even before the update, but maybe it intensified now. What I did is I reduced, or I increased rather. Actually, how do you define that? Go here. When I had that jerky motion even in the steering wheel, I did it this way. Oh, maybe that's why, because I want that one as my usual setup. Suspension stiffness and cabin suspension stiffness all the way to the right. Truck and trailer stability all the way to the left. Otherwise it would be too stiff. Which is weird because if you think of it that way, it's the stiffness. If you put the slider on the right, then that means it's more stiff, right? It doesn't feel that way. I don't know. Maybe it's the opposite. Oh, skimpy European cities. Love it. No giraffes in Hunter. We are getting bloodhounds. Nice. What are the bloodhounds used for? Will they like bring the prey back to you or lead you back to the prey, or I don't know. Finally get to track that moose. You hit on the nose. Be nice to see. Short neck giraffes. Close enough. Close enough. My goodness, so many roundabouts here. I should have told the story about roundabouts at this point. Good luck, Alpha Star. They bring back buffaloes. Just drag it with their mouths. I see. Is the giraffe one of them? Oh, that's sad, huh? Oh, such a nice view. Beautiful. Come on, you can do it. Just need to be winding in here a bit more. Oh no, Scotsman is back. Run plus. Thanks for joining. Feel free to join us in chat as well. Thanks for the follow. Lurking. Hey Axel, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. How are you? Are you a truck sim fan as well? City limits. Chamalier. I have no idea what that means. Speed limit didn't change though. Okay. Very small town. 1 block long. This is your favorite game when you're at your uncle's house. Nice, great to hear. Super relaxing, huh? Still can't get over it. And you're in the mood for some... You need some good vibes. This is the game to play. As much as I enjoy flight sim, depending on what you fly, it can be very challenging, can be very testy. You just want to have a sure ball way of relaxing. This is the way to go. Although, to be fair, recently I've been getting very similar vibes flying the Arrow. So you guys are familiar with that plane that I've been flying the past few weeks, that small plane. So nice. Touring around, just hand flying the entire way. Gives very similar vibes to this one. And you get some nice graphics because of the new simulator. Looking forward to flying that more. Very nice sounds. galore. I am starting to like roundabouts now. Starting to get a very positive outlook on them. Oh yeah, I remember that contact cleaner. I'll have to get one of those. That will be very useful for my pedals and my rudders. Both my wheel and rudder pedals. Where else do you use that kind of contact cleaner on? Yes, we are in the Scania 4 Series. Scania R 4 Series. Yeah, the sounds are great. It's my favorite sounds. You guys might have seen it in Zeemod's site. He asked me if I could make a testimonial, like a review. So I gathered a couple of sentences, I sent it to him, and then he edited it. He made it into a Facebook post, a comment from me. Couldn't be happier that I gave that. It's really the best out there. Classic one with the red interior. Oh yes, definitely. Definitely. I don't know why, but it just fits having a 4 Series with that red. Oh, is that the arrow? Yeah, the arrow, exactly. I was going to say with the 4 Series, I'm not sure why, but it's like embedded in me. When I imagine a 4 Series, it would have the red paint in the exterior. It's like the #1 image I get in my head when I think of a 4 Series. I have seen a 4 Series in real life. I think it was when we were driving in... I think it's when we took a coach from Singapore to Malaysia. And in Malaysia there are lots of trucks on the highways. Lots of 4 Series trucks in there. Very nice. And when we did a stop at one of the gas stations to fuel up, saw a couple of trucks passing by and stopping. 4 Series the entire way. Yeah, the arrow is great, and the developers are right on point. I'm so amazed, because as always with any of these first time releases, for a first release, it was actually pretty smooth, the arrow. There were bugs, of course, but they were not game or sim breaking, immersion breaking bugs, more of inconveniences, you know. And I was surprised when Thaddeus shared the changelog, because they really listed down each and every complaint from the users, and they worked on something. They tried to solve, they worked on the performance issue, they worked on the inaccurate numbers, they worked on so many things. That is exactly the kind of feedback that one would hope for, one would dream about from a developer. That's part of the reason why we are really very fond of SCS, right? Because they're very, it's not just like a one-way street. They show that they're really listening. And with SCS, it's a fairly big company now compared to the developers of those Mayware planes. So despite their size, you still see them listening. But yeah, it's the agility, the fast action of these small companies that are really admirable. That's why I like working with these guys, these kinds of guys. There's not much paperwork or how do you say, red tape that you need to go through to start working on something. There's an issue, there's a fix. Let's find the fix and let's implement the fix. Done deal. And then let's work on the paperwork afterwards. Amsterdamming. Close enough. Didn't expect this trip to take this long. I was hoping we could also get to Utopia in this stream, but it doesn't seem like we'll have time based on the looks of it. We are getting limitless roundabouts though, so I'm more than happy with that. Beautiful. Sure thing, Axel. Thanks for dropping by, man. Appreciate the follow again, and Clumsy trucking. Starting to get dizzy. Yeah, that might be one more side effect, huh? All those roundabouts. Me first. Whoops. Sorry. Finally, we're here. That was a long trip. It's nice though, with this kind of 1:1 mapping. You really see that transition. Very, very subtle transition. Being in a highway, being in a very urban place. I think that's more apparent when you're in Utopia, because you start off in a city, like a full-blown city, all the buildings and skimpy roads. And once you get on the highway, you start seeing the transitions of the scenery. Getting more mountains, getting more rivers, getting more bridges. And eventually, you don't really notice it until you're there, that you're in a full-blown countryside. And the vibe is completely different. It's nice. Oh, I think I remember this parking. Is that one of those? Please don't be. That was a very... I think that was what I remembered. I parked there, yeah. Exactly. This one looks different. Different company, but I think same banana. 1 second. Oh, there, okay. Bit of a different parking. Good. A bit easier as well. Not complaining. Welcome back, Panda. I was just praising your photography skills a while ago. Wasn't sure if you were here then. Your composition. Oh no, it's the Rohan. Run. What have you been playing recently, Rohan? I saw you were streaming a couple of times, sorry I couldn't drop by. Any fun games you're checking out? I saw you were really happy with that, what do you call it? EA Game Pass? Or together with Xbox? What games does it add? Better view here. Enough space in there, good. Went a bit over, but we can easily correct that here. Looking good. Nice. Oh, so wait, is that a different thing? Xbox Game Pass is different from EA Play Pass? Mass Effect, cool. FIFA now, wow. The whole spectrum, huh? I don't think I've seen this Grand Utopia, this bar, move that far. That might have been my longest trip in Grand Utopia. 84 kilometers, 9 hours. Nice. Game Pass includes EA Play and Bethesda games now. Ah, okay, I see. Wow. They're really doing step by step, huh? Nice. So we have 15 minutes. What can we do with 15 minutes? take a short trip maybe. Do a bit of... Let's see if there's a short trip inside the city. Tours. 1 kilometer. That can work. Tours to tours. Let's see. I would want to deliver there, whatever that is. Let's see if there's something that delivers to that place. TSL? Was it TSL? No, not really. That one. Yeah, the CJT. That's the one, yes. Okay, so where are we? I think this is the company we're at. Kuhn Nagel? How do you read that? It's a real company, I think, right? Or some people may get angry again. It's not a real company in France. Crisis games, run! Can it run Crisis? The X on the map looks interesting. Oh, which one? Didn't see. So I'll have to do this, then pick it up. There we go. Medical equipment. Definitely in with the times. Where are we supposed to pick that up from? Ah, okay. Different pickup point, okay. Roads which make an X in tours. Oh, this one. Yeah, that's interesting. It looks a bit weird, doesn't it? Let's see if we get to drive over them. Oh my goodness. Some people would be raging at me again. Yeah, I remember I got that comment. The internet is a beautiful place. One person could not really watch the video because I had an inaccurate trailer. It was too much for them. Having a Finnish company in Poland, in a fictional Poland at that. Whatever floats your boat. Treasure marker. That might be a tough squeeze in there. This needs to be very sharp. But we might actually get it to work if we straighten a bit. Not a French company on sub. Exactly. Will that work? Maybe. Not straight, but maybe it will accept it. There you go. Oh, dang it. There you go. No complaints. We're in a hurry. Perfect parking right there. Not sure how it accepted that, but we'll make it work. What treasure can we find there? An accurate and inaccurate trailer. Unsub, unfollow, on anything. So it actually takes us there. Can we go drive through the excess here? Not really. Wow, how do you drive through an invisible road? That might be a bug. Not sure if I'm willing to find out. Trip time 12 minutes, trip time 13 minutes. Now let's take the safer route here. X marks the side panel. Are you one step closer to a side panel? Alex, I think with the Thrustmaster wheel, I think side panel works great. Jack would probably agree. For science. You guys wanna check that X marks the spot? We can make that work. Okay, let's go here and see how that whole thing works. Inaccurate approach. CA wanted to unsubscribe your license. You might have had a bigger problem than I do. Some people were joking around like, there goes your license. What license? Well, I did get reported to Eddie Stobart, so I guess that can really happen. You guys know that story, right? Oh my goodness. Hey Chrissy, how are you? How have you been? 06 left, 06 right. Nadi nada, who cares? Did you approach on the wrong runway? Oh my goodness. What did ATC say? Did you get scolded? If this is another Mexican boat incident, let it be noted that we will be putting Silly Panda on probation. And Alex knows once you get on probation, you never get off. See, I drive well sometimes. I wait for the guys, although I find the wrong gear afterwards. There you go. Still playing your fun. Yeah. He is. This is a rotary. Is it? What's the difference? Is it big? My goodness. It does seem larger. It's pretty laggy in here, huh? Yeah, my GPU has gone down to 58%. So my single thread is bottlenecking me. You found and watched that Mexican. Oh my goodness. I should delete that from the archives to be forgotten forever. Where's the X thing? 2-lane roundabout is a rotary. He was exiled there. Ha! Goodness. The outer lane turns right straight away, so no need to stop. The inner lane goes around like normal. Also, is that a rotary? I see. So like a 2-lane roundabout indeed. 1 hour driving, 2 hours parking. Not anymore, Rohan. Haven't had the time. I'm focusing my full efforts on flying at the moment. Learning to fly at least. The learning curve is intense. Unfollow. It's still installed, but no. So where's the X thing? Discord key is broken. How many free passes are you giving him, Alex, for helping you with the Thrustmaster? Oh, apparently it's not an X, it's one of those like Eurotunnel kind of things. It looks like that here, but actually it's not really. Yeah, here in this map it looks proper, but weirdly enough in the... I don't know why that is. First time I've seen that inconsistency. Yeah, this one is good. Oh, party pooper. Wasn't as exciting as we thought. Well, there's Jack's treasure. Who landed on the wrong airport in Finland. Cat 3 on both cleared runways. Ah, yeah, that's a good enough excuse. 2 weeks without pay. Oh my goodness. Wow. Look at this roundabout. A weird roundabout. You actually have to yield inside. What do you call this? I was thinking of a joke, but I couldn't think of one. I'll let Alex and Jack take care of it. Yeah, the storyline in RDR2 has been great so far. Even if I'm not really into the entire, like, that, how do you say, cowboy vibes. Not really a huge fan of that era. But because of how the game is, how detailed it is, and how intriguing the storyline is, I'm still playing it. Well, I was playing it. Not joining you. I yelled about a stoppery. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder what that is. It's like a custom texture kind of thing, huh? Is that Eastern? I don't know. Looks deep. I skipped through it. I didn't get spoiled. Modding is fun when you forget stuff. Good thing I'm very good at missing messages. I can purposely skip through one. Now where the heck is that parking? Oh, don't tell me. This looks pretty skimpy. Ah, okay. Okay, there's a huge area inside. Good, good, good. I thought it would be this narrow as well. There it is. Just a quick job around the city. Thanks, Jay. Yes, I know that feeling. Yeah, not me. I'm slacking in the RDR2 department. Come on. Oh, don't hit those boxes. Oh, dang it, too late. That's a bit tricky. Can't actually turn that sharp. Have to make the turn a bit more shallow. Yeah, there's a strike through on that text, but I can still read it if I try hard enough. Thankfully, I don't want to. That would work. Maybe-ish. On this side. Yeah, just straighten out. I can make it work. The map. Why is that? The title get changed or something? Looking good. Straight up. Perfect. Awesome. Look at that. 11. Right on the dot. Doc looks confused. That's his happy face. Good. No worries, Alpha Star. No worries at all. No harm done. Check the flags out. Haven't yet. I took a look at the supported trucks. I didn't see the 4 series in there, so I didn't download it for now. I'll check it next time, man. Thanks everyone for joining me in the stream. Look at that, I might be late, but I end on time. Not sure if that's a good thing. Have a great weekend, guys. Catch you on Discord. Looking forward to more flying. Sorry, not sorry. We'll see. More bussing as well soon, hopefully. Thanks. Have a nice day. Appreciate the company. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, everybody. Happy weekend to everyone. Catch you on Discord for sure. We'll have more interactions there. Thanks, and Clumsy Trucking.